Hello, hello, hello. Hey, folks. How's the things moving along? Hope you are able to hear me. So yeah, this is going to be a short stream. I'm here to answer any questions you have related to technical interviews, and I do have a motive. I'm actually quite excited to reach 15,000 subscribers. So never in my wildest dreams I thought that I would be able to reach at this point, but hey, here we are. So hopefully, if you are not subscribed, just help me get there as quickly as possible. And if you have any questions, feel free to just shoot out, and I would I would be waiting to answer each one of them. So hey, good morning. By the way, uh, where I'm currently sitting, it's almost 1 a.m. So I'm pretty tired, but I am pretty excited for yeah, this period of nearly 14,000 15,000 subscribers. So yeah, we are up to good start. Pretty happy to see that. Thanks everyone for the support. Like I really appreciate it. भैया मुझे डीएसए करना है, आपकी प्लेलिस्ट से फुल रोड मैप बताओ. Yeah, this is a pretty common question. So full roadmap for the DSA. Actually, I sent it out to one of my dear friends, and let me do that. Let me just go out to what I had actually sent him, and I can just paste it over here. So there was a sequence of videos that I would recommend that if you want to do for the DSA, like what would be a good place to start and what would be a good place to end. So let me just take it one like the whole, let me try to copy the whole message and just paste it in the chat. So anyone, yeah. So this is what I recommend. Why it's not allowing me? Oh, I see. I'm just trying to type the message. Just bear with me for a second. Okay, so this is one. Second would be this. And then third would be yeah, I should have found a better way to do it, but anyways, this is third, and fourth. Okay, so I 4, 5, and 6 you should be able to figure out. So this is the sequence for DSA playlist. So if you want, feel free to just go ahead and use it. I think that you should be able to solve all the questions you have through that. Okay. Next question, Dosi. So for Gen AI engineering, is it required DSA and system design, sir? I am a Gen AI engineer. Honestly, I haven't interviewed for any of the Gen AI positions, but in my opinion, I think it's more dependent on the type of company that you are applying for. So I would just ask the HR that, hey, let's say if I'm applying for an interview for a Gen AI position, just if you get a call from HR saying that you have been selected for an interview, yeah, just check with them that what the requirements are and what kind of interviews can you expect. Honestly, it's more dependent on the company that you are applying to. If you are applying to some let's say popular companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, for sure, no matter what the position is, they are going to ask you DSN system design. But if you are reaching out to some small scale startup or just some small to medium company that does tech, but they don't have like a tech product, they might have different requirements, so they might not even ask full questions. Yeah, once again, guys, please try. I'm trying to make 15,000 subscribers, so hopefully you can help out and just see if you can subscribe. By the way, next question: how to get ready for Vertex framework related technical interview? I think there are hundreds of blogs about that. So for any particular framework, yeah, you can just go ahead and check out some internet questions. You can also ask ChatGPT that, hey, I have an upcoming interview coming up where this framework might be needed. Can you give me some interview questions? And then definitely it will suggest you all of that. Now Bodify is saying that अगर बस DSA कर लूँ dev का time नहीं बचा, placement session coming in 6 months. Oh, I see. Um, Honestly, like, yeah, DSA is part of it, but I would just not rely solely on DSA. Because no matter what company you apply for, they are going to check your development skills or your coding skills. So if you have time, yeah, definitely at least do 1 or 2 projects. And man, you are saying that placement session is coming in 6 months. 6 months is quite substantial time period, or trust me on that. So you can definitely clear out DSA, so like learn everything about DSA, because that's going to take like 3 to 4 months at max, at if you do it dedicatedly, and you would still have 2 to 3 months to improve on your development skills and coding skills as a dev. So definitely you can be ready within 6 months if the placements are coming in, but you just need to be prepared. Shrikant, I'm from Canada, and currently I'm doing the live streaming, but yeah, I'm currently working as a solutions architect at the biggest movie theater chain in Canada, and it's been an amazing journey. Like, so yeah, that's what I'm currently doing. By the way, I'm just curious if you guys figured out about the latest Levels.fyi report, because it's been pretty interesting. I went over some numbers, and yeah, definitely it looks promising, to be honest, that many new companies, they are paying enormous amounts of salaries. Like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me just paste the link over here. So I'm pretty sure most of the people would be familiar with what Levels.fyi is. It's a website where you can go ahead and post your salaries. So like most of the legit engineers, they basically post their salaries, and every year they have been coming up with this end of the year report, and it's been like astonishing numbers. And to be honest, like the amount of compensation being paid, it's just crazy. Let me just paste it in the chat so everyone can see it. Yeah. By the way, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you don't have any questions, yeah, definitely. I'm monitoring the chat on the side. So, and also don't forget to subscribe, man. I'm trying to reach 15,000, and hopefully we get there soon. Yeah, so I was going through this list, and the funny thing is, every year we feel like Fang is going to be like the latest and greatest company that is going to do all of these awesome things. Let me just share my screen for a bit. I think you are able to hear my voice now. Yeah, so if we see here, actually, funny thing is, yeah, so if we see this list of all the questions and all the companies that what they are paying right now, it's pretty unbelievable. Like, this is from United States, but still just see the number, like $500,000 for entry level engineer at Jane Street. My god, so much money. And then you see, this is the first time I'm seeing Optiver in this list. I saw IMC even last year as well. Scale is also new, so that's pretty interesting. Like, new companies we don't even know, but they are paying substantially higher. Like, funny thing is, we don't even see any single FANG company in this list, which is quite a big shock. But then if we go to like software engineer 2 position, like senior level position, we do see Netflix making an appearance, and also Facebook, because number one, Facebook stock has been up like crazy in the last year, so they all are millionaires by now. And Netflix is here because funny thing with Netflix is it only has two types of what do I say, like two types of roles. Before, back in the day, it only used to be senior software engineer role, and now they have changed it to basically like an entry level IC4 role or a level 4 role and a senior software engineer. And Netflix is like awesome in terms of pay. So yeah, I'm happy to see Netflix over here. Facebook is also here, but again, the compensation is just unbelievable. Like if we see higher levels, OpenAI is also making an appearance, which is good to know. And yeah, this is the L5 position at Netflix that I was talking about. Like if you see couple of years back, this used to be around 500,000. Now it's almost like 700. So 3/4 of a million. And yeah, then if we see like at staff and principal engineer level, then we see once again Facebook making an appearance. I think at principal, maybe, yeah, Google might be here. So it's Google, Facebook, they are there, but they are at very high compensation level. And if we go, I don't want to check like product managers, not part of my role. But yeah, apart from that, it's an important list, so a lot of people would be able to figure it out. By the way, let me just go back to the questions. I deviated for a bit. Okay, now we are back. Okay, cool. Now let's see if there are any more questions. Okay, so Narayan is saying that I'm applying for Oracle, Accenture, Cognizant, Tech Mahindra. Will they ask DSA, sir? I am a Gen AI engineer. Man, to be very honest, I don't know. I think best way I would figure out is just ask on Reddit. There is a very popular subreddit named Developers in India. I think that would be the best place that I would ask this question, because I'm pretty sure that someone working in these companies would definitely be on that subreddit. Let me just post that Reddit link over here, because it's been pretty helpful to me. So yeah, Narayan, maybe you can find this link useful. And by the way, guys, we are trying to hit 15,000 subscribers, so hopefully it would be nice if you can reach out. And by the way, if you have any like non-technical interview related questions, but like IT career related questions, of course those are also welcome at any given moment, so feel free to ask. Yeah, so okay, Sheshav is asking that hey, I'm working as a full-time contractor at Turing. Is it possible for me to work in a product based companies? Yeah, of course, man. So definitely it's possible to work at product based companies. I have worked as like contractor before briefly, but yes, I don't think it matters that whether you are contractor or not. The only thing is, are you able to crack the interviews? Are you able to gain the skills that is needed? And in my opinion, if someone is a contractor, actually they are well positioned, because you are being judged based on your performance solely. So because you don't have a fixed tenure or full-time employment, I think you are always going to be up on your toes. I know some pretty good, pretty famous contractors with whom I worked, and they have been like some of the smartest people I know. So definitely, contractors are welcome at product-based companies, as long as you have the skills to solve the interview. Okay, now Yashwant is asking that, sir, I'm a BTech student currently in my final year. Recently, I placed in a startup for 5 lakhs per annum and 2 years of bond. Is it good or bad? Yashwant, do you have any other roles at the moment, or any other job openings or interviews lined up. If you have some interviews lined up, and let's say that you have maybe like 3 to 5 interviews lined up within next 2 months or 1 month, maybe you can just let them know that, hey, I don't want to get stuck for 2 years in terms of bond. I'm really interested in the job, but it's only if it's both ways, and I have these interviews lined up. You can just be honest and tell them. I know they will try to put pressure on you that, hey man, it's take it or leave it, and we need your answer right now. So you can try to negotiate that way just by telling them that, hey, I have interviews lined up and I'm more interested to see what opportunities out there, apart from like I'm still interested in working with you guys. That's like direct approach. Second approach, that is more diplomatic. It's like you try to say that, hey, let me think about it, let me ask my mentor. You can just say that, I have maybe try to renegotiate salary, see how that goes. Maybe try to have a meeting with hiring manager and try to drag 2 3 weeks. And in those weeks, I would suggest, see if you are able to secure some interviews. Then also it depends on your financial situation. So if 5 lakhs per annum, if you are really like looking for an employment right away and want to start contributing to yourself and your family, just it's a fantastic deal. Of course, you are getting a full-time employment, so that's good. But that if you have time at hand and you want to make sure that, hey, maybe I can get placed in a better company given the time and resources and skills I have, you can also try somewhere else. So it mainly depends on your personal set of skills. If I were you, and let's say if I'm joining for the first time in workforce, I would still give myself maybe like 3 to 4 weeks to see if I can secure some other interview that does not put hold me down in any sort of bond for 2 years. But if I don't have anything lined up, I would just sign the deal and I would be happy to work for 2 years. At least I would get some experience out of it. So yeah. Okay, next question is the legend that, Sir, MERN Stack plus DSA with MC from Indira Gandhi National Open University. Is there any chance in big companies? 100% you have substantial chance in every single big company out there. To be honest, I have seen people working in big companies, let's say Facebook, Google, Amazon, Jane Street, HRT, like all the top companies that we are talking about. All of these companies, they actually don't even care that much about your education. I'm just going to be very blunt here. Unless you are from like IITs or MITs or something substantial, they might they might put you in their eyes that, hey, you are a really smart person. But apart from that, if you belong to like tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 college, then they would see, okay, you have some experience in terms of learning, but let's see what skills you have, what projects have you done, what kind of person you have, what kind of communication you have, what is your thought process looks like, how impressive is your resume. And then it will be basically having all the discussions from there. So of course you can make into big companies, there is no doubt. But the path to reaching there is, you will have to work really hard on yourself. You have to make sure that your resume meets all the requirements. Reach out to people on LinkedIn, ask for referrals, and along the same lines, always try to keep improving yourself. So that's the path moving forward. Okay, next question is Red Velvet 78. Sir, I have copied my projects from Git and I have not done many projects. How can I explain it in an interview? If you have time before your interviews, at least try to do some projects. Everyone copies stuff from Git. There is nothing strange in that. One thing to understand is, are you able to at least understand the code that you have copied? That's number one thing. Second thing is, if you are being asked to write it on your own, at least do you know where to look for things? Right now we have ChatGPT and Copilot and AI. Back in the day, we used to have Stack Overflow, which we currently have, but it's losing demand. Every single developer I know have used Stack Overflow to copy code from here or there. So there is nothing wrong in just like doing it, but you will have to understand the reason for it. If you're copying something, you need to know that, what is going to be the importance of that. Okay, now Sheshav is asking that can you suggest any genuine website where I can apply for remote jobs as contractor? Now I'm fully aligned with remote job and don't want to work offsite. Now that depends on the country you currently live in. Number one thing. Second thing is LinkedIn is the place to go. Like I don't know, I haven't even worked with any other third party websites like Naukri.com or Monster or Indeed or anyone. I have found most of the positions I was looking for through LinkedIn. I would suggest LinkedIn is a pretty good place. So hopefully you can find good contracting opportunities from there. Uh, okay, Yashwant is saying that currently I don't have anything, sir. They said that they will give an offer letter by the month of May. So you still have 4 months. And I know front end development and DSA up to only arrays. I mean, man, you have 4 months. Why don't you just gain more knowledge on DSA at least, so you can at least be more confident in other interviews. If you don't have anything lined up, you still have 4 more months. Just keep applying at bunch of places, keep interviewing at bunch of places. And you know the funny thing is, if you already have a job aligned, if you already have a job pending, actually your confidence level in your interviews goes through the roof. Like I have personally experienced it, and I'm definitely going to say, Yashwant, that you will experience it someday. That from now, all the interviews that you are going to give, you would be relaxed, more composed, and you would be able to convey your thoughts very easily because now you at least have a job lined up. So make sure to apply, and hopefully you can find good use of it. Okay, now Hitesh is saying that could you please help me recommend some mock DSA or system design interview platforms? Before I mentioned, but there is a very famous Discord server. It's called, I think if you search it on Google, let me try to do it for you and paste that link. But it's basically for CS career questions. So they have a Reddit account as well, and they also have a Discord server. And on that Discord server, they have a channel that basically helps you find out what do I say? Yeah, so this is the Discord server that I'm talking. Okay, let me just paste it in the chat. This is the Discord server I'm talking about, and this is the Reddit channel I'm talking about. Both of these places are wonderful resources. Now on the Discord server, I would recommend try to find like mock groups, and then you would be able to find like-minded people who are open for mock interviews, and you can make good group out of it. So that's one way. Second thing is, one of my goal for this 2025 is to actually conduct live mock interviews. So now I won't be able to do for everyone. If you think that you have the confidence, I can do, like, I can take your mock interview, but I just have one condition. I'm going to do a YouTube live for it so other people can see. Now, if you want to like not show up your face, that's absolutely fine. If you don't want to dox yourself, or if you just feel that you don't want your things to be up on the internet to see everyone, maybe you are struggling in a mock interview. But in my opinion, mock interviews are the only thing that would help you get good at interviews and improve your odds at getting job. So yeah, uh, I just pasted two resources for you for CS career questions, Reddit channel and Discord server, that can be useful. And yeah, okay, now Yashwant is saying that even if I start at very low package, how can I improve myself and target big companies and big packages, sir? Like everyone starts at low package. That's a very common scenario. There is nothing wrong in that. You need to get into, at least get your foot in door in the IT industry before you start demanding higher salaries and bigger companies. Now, one thing, there is a misconception that all the big companies pay well. It's not the case. Like Amazon, Microsoft, they are huge enormous companies, but they are not the top payers. Of course, other FANG companies like Facebook, Netflix, Google, they do pay really well, but only for top level engineers. So there are companies out there that are not very popular, but they are gaining like substantial funding, so they pay enormous salaries, which we just saw with the Levels.fyi list that I was talking about. Apart from that, I would suggest the only way to improve yourself is, number one, be really good at what you do in your 8 or 9 or 10 hours at job. Learn as much as you can. That's number one thing. Now, second thing is, what you are not going to learn on your job is, number one, DSA. Majority of high paying companies ask DSA questions. Now, I personally have my own thoughts that DSA is not a true judge of any engineer, whether he or she is a good engineer or not. But companies ask that, so we why don't you put time and money and effort and resources learning that, because it could double, triple, quadruple your compensation. So it's definitely worth it. So number one thing I would recommend you is to continue learning DSA, solving lead code problems. Second, improve on your communication skills. You need to be really good on conveying your message, your thoughts. And third thing I would recommend is start learning system design early on. And then once you are already in the preparation stage, let's say that you know that after 2 years you want to switch companies and try to aim for better compensation. I would recommend that after, like, since the beginning, start making more connections on LinkedIn, so you can reach out to people anytime for referrals. That's option number one thing. And second thing is, always try to see what kind of roles are being posted and what are the current trends in the industry, because you need to stay up to date on that. So it's not a 1 day or 1 week solution to reach in higher companies, but in my opinion, you need to make sure that you do consistent efforts over across the longer period of time, and always try to make yourself better. Now, I'm not saying that don't have a life and don't go out and party with friends and hang out and watch movies and stuff like that. You should still do all of that. Just try to put some effort and resources into it. At least even if you put like 5 to 10 hours a week, that is also going to be plentiful, because you would learn a lot across the span of 1 to 2 years. So yeah, that would be my advice. Okay, next question. Hitesh is asking that, sir, I'm currently solving NeetCode's roadmap sheet. Is it good enough, or anything else do you recommend? It's actually wonderful resource. Like, NeetCode 150 is pretty good in my opinion. So if you're doing it, yeah, definitely kudos to you. Now the thing is, what you need to take out from that NeetCode 150 list is not only the set of 150 questions, but you have to understand that all the 20-25 patents that are being talked about in those 150 questions, that is more important. So if you are at a level where you can see any question and realize that, hey, in this case 2 pointers would be a solution, or maybe this is a graph problem, or maybe you need to try to solve this problem. If you are at that level and you understand that pattern, then kudos to you. Then NeetCode 150 is more than sufficient. But it's just that, yeah, NeetCode 150 would give you a list of all the questions that covers majority of topics, and what you need to be good at is at the topics, not at the questions. So always make sure to have that distinction in mind. Okay, Legend is saying, sir, your DSA playlist. Like, I have my playlist available on my channel, so you can go and check it out from there. Now I have a bunch of videos, so I know it can get confusing. Now if you scroll through this chat on this live stream, I have actually pasted the sequence of videos you should follow if you are starting from scratch in terms of DSA. Okay, Red Velvet is asking that, sir, I know only basic maths, array and string. Is it enough to get at least a company do compulsory to study DSA fully? I mean, you can get into companies without knowing DSA at all. Not all companies ask for DSA interviews. That's a given fact. If I'm a small time company hiring, let's say, a Python developer, do I care that they are able to solve like lead code problem or not? Of course not. I am only concerned about that how good are their coding skills. So of course you can get a job. Now getting a job at substantially large companies would be very tough, because majority of them do rely on DSA questions. Now, since what you mentioned is basic maths, array and string, that's hardly like 20% of what the entire DSA is. You are missing out like key topics like dynamic programming, graph, trees, tries, um, like different manipulations that can come into the picture, linked list. So there is a huge chunk of things that you are missing. So in my opinion, I think it would be better if you can study harder and cover more topics. Okay, Legend is saying, sir, are there any prerequisites to start your DSA playlist? I am good in Monstack. After learning DSA, what kind of projects should I build to get referrals? Actually, so for my list, I would try to teach you as if you are beginner. So I don't think there is any kind of prerequisite. Now, in my opinion, I would just refer you that what kind of projects you should build. Any project, like pick anything and start building on top of it. Maybe because currently I'm working with a movie theater company, maybe build something like a show booking kind of a backend system, and that can be a project that you can complete. Or you can do something on the front end side, or you can create like a mobile app. You can do all sorts of things, and they don't have any correlation with the DSA playlist that you are trying to fit. Both are completely separate things, and both are equally important. Now, projects are more important because it will help you explain more things in an interview. DSA is only good for technical interviews, and not all companies ask technical interviews. So there is that distinction that you have to understand. Thanks, Hitesh. Red Velvet is saying that, sir, please upload a video for clearing technical coding round and how to pass test case and tips and tricks to pass it. I mean, there are no tips and tricks. Basically, it's just you see a question and you have to figure out the solution. That's pretty much it. Now, there are ways of getting good at it, and I can probably create some video about it. But in my opinion, I think last time I mentioned that I'm working on a course about like a 60-hour course for free code camp channel. So you can feel free to go and check it out over there. Once that course is live, I think you would be able to see a lot of important information from that. By the way, folks, we are just 3 subscribers away. Please just, I'm pretty eager to reach 15,000. So if you can make that happen, it would be pretty awesome. Pratik, yeah, thanks a lot, Pratik. I'm pretty happy to see that you like my DSA playlist. Okay, A is asking that, hello, sir, I used to work in a decent paying company but got laid off after 1.7 years. Now it's really hard to obtain similar paying job. What do you suggest I do? I'm pretty sure if 1.7 years would mean that you must have been hired during the COVID boom. I got laid off 2 times in 2023, so I know exactly what you are talking through. It would be tough to get similar paying jobs because when you probably got hired, the demand was really high, and that's why companies were overpaying. And now that it's not that much demand, so of course it's possible that you would not get similar paying jobs. In my opinion, what I would do is, if I would try to get like as good of a job as I can, because at least it's good to have something in hand. It's good to have one bird in hand rather than two in bush. So see if you can at least secure some interview and try to get a job. And once you are in the working force, and if it's financially acceptable, maybe you might have to cut some cost and here and there and whatnot. But you seem like, because 1.7 years of experience, you still like relatively young person, fresher, maybe not that much responsibilities. So you still have time to grow your skills and opt for better companies and higher compensation in the future. But first, I would just try to get a job. So see if you can do it that way. Okay, Aditya is asking that I'm currently working as a data analyst with my day-to-day work, mostly involving Excel. I'm preparing for DSA. That's nice. I have also prepared full stack projects. Can you please guide me? How can I switch? Apply to more companies. Make a really good resume. Reach out to a bunch of people. Keep on posting the things you do on LinkedIn, And in my opinion, yeah, just showcase your work, man. Try to get, don't aim to get a job, aim to get more interviews, because in your case currently you are mostly working on Excel, but now you want to move to development. So inherently it shows that you are someone who is definitely willing to learn new things. It would be great if a developer can understand what goes in the minds of a data analyst, or what are the requirements from the data analyst point of view. So it's a good skill to have on both ends. Now you mentioned that you mostly work with Excel, but as a data analyst, do you also work with or have you worked with like Databricks or Snowflake or something like that? Because they are really important skills right now. So if you can manage that, I think that would also be pretty good. And A saying that hey, I'm not that great with DSA. My development skills are pretty good. I mean, man, yeah. I'm once again, try to find a job as quickly as possible, and then work on yourself, work on your DSA skills, work on everything that you want to, and you eventually you would become better. Okay, MD Saiful Islam is saying that, sir, now startups are asking about DSA and tech stack questions also. How to prepare both correctly? DSA, of course, I have showed bunch of playlist. There are also things of not only being good with DSA, you also need to be good with communication, conveying your thoughts. So, and that only comes with mock interviews. So for a DSA preparation, I would suggest that you do bunch of mock interviews with like-minded people. I have showed you a couple of links where you can find uh, people to do mock interviews with. That's option number one. Now, for the second option, I would suggest in terms of tech stack related questions, there are a bunch of blogs that you can read, but the only way to get really good at any particular tech stack is by creating some projects. So I usually have this one thing in mind. You pick a decent project. Let's say if I want to learn more about like Java and Spring framework, I would create like a backend project that is slightly more complex, uses majority of functionality and whatnot. And that's how I would try to learn the new different nuances of any particular tech stack that way. Now, second thing is, what if tech stack is different than what you currently know? Try to create the same project with different tech stack, because project complexities are not going to go away. For the tech stack, the important thing is, do you know the little nuances here and there, that hey, this is the library you need to use, or this is the class you need to implement, or this is how it actually runs, this is how it deploys and whatnot. So every language has their own different set of functions, that how it operates. And yeah, just try to do it that way. Okay, Yashwant is once again saying that, sir, thank you so much for your valuable guidance. Happy to help. One final question. The JavaScript is my comfort zone, so I'm learning DSA through JavaScript. Can I continue? Yeah, of course, you can continue with JavaScript. Good thing about DSA interviews are they don't care what language you usually solve your problem in. You can just say that I can do this in Java or Python or JavaScript or any other language out there, right? .NET or whatnot. So you can absolutely do DSA in JavaScript. There are no issues with this. Okay. Usman is saying that, sir, how to learn DSA from your channel? What is the sequence of videos to follow? Usman, if you just scroll up this chat, I have actually pasted like 5 6 links. They are numbered, so you would be able to find them easily, and basically just check it through that. If you follow that sequence, it should be more than enough. If not, I can also paste one more sheet over here, and this is the sheet that I created that contains like most important questions, and they are sorted by topics and what, like how many companies have asked it and whatnot. So it's an important resource. Feel free to go and check it out. Okay, now Sangeet Nagar, sir, I can do 3 subscribe from my no, I want to do like legitimate subscriptions, Sangeet. So thank you for the offer. But I would still appreciate if legitimate Sangeet. you subscribe from your main account. That's really appreciated. And I hope, and I'm extremely thankful for that. And I hope that other people who are currently not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel for like those remaining 3 subscribers, so we can hit 15,000 and then I can go to sleep happily tonight. Shivam Kumar is asking that please come with structure content from basic to advanced. I think Shivam, that's what I have on the list I just shared, the Google document that I have, because on that particular list I have actually sorted most of the questions based on starting from like easy, then medium, then hard, topic wise, and those topics are also in sequence. So you should be able to figure out as a beginner that where to start and where to eventually grow your skills. And even on the videos, I tend to treat it as if that you don't know anything about that topic. How can you be good at it? So yeah, I would try to do my best, and hopefully you find it useful. Sangeet is saying that, sir, how to do DSA? Practice. One word answer is practice, and long term answer is find all the things you need to learn. That is all the different 20-25 topics that we have for DSA. After finding that, find what sequence you need to learn that. For that, we have the important resource by NeetCode, that is NeetCode's roadmap. Then try to find appropriate questions for that. Once again, NeetCode has done a phenomenal job on that regard with his NeetCode 150 list. I also have my own 130 list, but I would once again say NeetCode list is definitely much better. And once you have finalized that, then understand that what are the basics of DSA. I have a course on that, and there are many other courses on YouTube, so you can definitely feel free to go and check it out. After that, understand what is big O, understand that what sequence of topics you need to learn through NeetCode roadmap, and then just start learning with the questions. After knowing the basics, I would just know the basics, know what time and space complexity is, that is big O, and then just start with DSA questions. That is the only way you would become good at it. Okay, Manish is asking that thank you for amazing DSA playlist. Thank you so much. I have started following it and now make sure to solve at least one lead code problem. Yeah, that kudos, man. That's the way to go. Sir, could you please suggest any website platform where I can find job opportunity startups? I usually go with LinkedIn. I don't know any other websites. So yeah, I would just prefer LinkedIn. LinkedIn is my go-to place. Suresh is asking that, hi sir, what are the topics needed to be covered in tree graph DSA? Can you please give me one JavaScript React open source repo to contribute? Oh man, there are actually tons of it. So for the second piece, like JavaScript React open source repo to contribute, I would just suggest doing some research on your own, because I personally haven't done good chunk of open source contribution in many years, because I've been out of touch, so I don't really know. And now speaking about what topics needs to be covered in tree and graph. So number one, for the trees, binary trees, binary search trees, then all the tree traversal, so in order, pre-order, post-order traversal, what is breadth first search, what is depth first search, what is the difference between trees and graphs. Those are like some of the basics and important questions on from the trees front of you. Then speaking about let's say what I was saying. Okay, yeah. After that, for the trees, you want to start with like medium to hard problems. That is like finding the degree of connections, migrating different places, trying to maintain like balanced binary trees, and also utilizing trees for the important functionality of heap and priority queue. So there are different kinds of trees that are being applied at different places. There are like hash trees, and there are trees dedicated for like priority queue operations and things like that. So those are pretty popular tree questions. Now, when we talk about graphs, now for the graphs, number one thing you need to learn is all the different kinds of graphs. So for the graphs, we have nodes and edges, but then we need to understand that how to represent a graph. So we usually use like either adjacency matrix or adjacency list. So you need to understand the difference between both of them, how it works. After learning that, you will have to understand what are the different types of graphs. So there is directed, undirected, weighted, non-weighted graphs. There are like cyclical graphs, acyclical graphs. There are connected graphs, not connected graphs, all of those. So see what do they mean, what are their differences. Then there is a common theme across majority of graph problems, that is finding distance between any two nodes, finding the shortest path, or trying to see if they connect or not. Maybe there can be complex questions such as like a traveling salesman problem but simplified version of it, or maybe like trying to book a flight itinerary from one place to another. There is also some popular questions like course schedule 1 and course schedule 2. They are also really popular on graph problems. Then with the graphs, there are lot of I would say algorithms. So there is Bellman-Ford, and then there is Dijkstra's algorithm, and then there are I think one algorithm for like topology sort, and then there is Kruskal's algorithm and whatnot. So many times you won't even know the name of the algorithm, but you need to know the underlying logic, that how does it applies. So yeah, I would focus on those two. And just a personal story, when I was starting with my DSA journey, I was actually pretty bad at graphs and trees, and I was extremely scared of two topics. First one was graphs and second one was dynamic programming. So I honestly didn't knew anything about those, and I just learned everything I know through continuous practice. So yeah, I've been doing it for 3 years now, but I'm not doing it diligently, I'm just doing it to make these videos. So yeah, but that way I learned. Okay, Ayush is asking that tell me about some project in Java. Actually, there are a lot of projects you can do in Java. Um, uh, if you are looking for building Android, you can do an Android application through SDK if you want to do that way. I know it can be daunting, but it's not that difficult. Apart from that, I would suggest maybe like a hotel reservation system, that is a simpler one that can be done through Java. More complex ones, I would feel maybe like a booking system, or like a railway booking system, or movie theater booking system with different seats and different configurations, and how you can manage that. Maybe try to see if you can create a Java project where you actually have to connect with some database in behind the scenes, and also maintain the DB operations. So that can be a good one. Okay. Rishav Gupta, thank you so much for subscription. Really appreciate that. Now, Rishav is asking that I have an interview for an internship tomorrow. Could you give me some tips? Uh, Research the company. Uh, be a happy person in an interview, because if it's an internship, probably you don't have much experience, but they want to have someone who is good to work with, listens what they say, because that's an important part. Many times many young people they don't have that patience. So at least be presentable, so wear a decent shirt or something in an interview. Make good impression, try to maintain the eye contact and all those like decent posturing things. Now be prepared for questions like what are your important skills, what have you learned recently, what is your typical approach on learning new things. Let's say if I ask you to do something from scratch, what would be your strategy. So some of those kinds of behavioral questions, even if they don't ask, you can explain that, hey, this is what I've been doing and this is what my thought process is. So if you can show that uh, preemptive, I would say proactiveness, that you are someone who can learn quickly, do the task being assigned, and always eager to learn new things and do more. Yeah, that is something that would look good. Now if you have some achievements, don't be shy about it. Make sure to highlight it. It can be like sports related achievements, something you did at school, maybe you in your college you did like good at cultural festivities or whatnot. So try to showcase that. Try to see if you have relevant experience. So relevant as in you did something that was not part of your course, but you wanted to learn it anyways, and that's why you did it, and that aligns with what currently company is going to hire you for the internship. So yeah, that way you can do it. Okay, Sangeet is asking that I'm not able to solve problems even after I have practiced quite a bit. I know the basic algorithm and basic DSA, but cannot think when a new problem comes. What should I do? Please help, sir. A simple answer: practice. If you are still not able to do it after doing it for some time, yeah, maybe you just need to do more of it. But ask yourself this question: since you started learning, maybe it could be like 3 months or 6 months or whatever, definitely, yeah, now you would be at much better place than what place you were before. So it's not that you haven't learned anything, it's just that you haven't reached at a point where you can just very comfortably say that, hey, I'm pretty good at this topic. Oh, we just hit 15,000. I never realized it. Thank you so much for everyone subscribing to my. I didn't know that we have already hit 15,000. Thank you so much. Just feeling extremely overwhelmed. Let me take a screenshot of this because I want to paste it in LinkedIn. So let me do it right now. When I started this channel, I never realized that I would reach at this level where I would have 15,000 people actually subscribing to my work. Thank you so much. Genuinely pretty happy. I know it's almost 2 a.m., but I'm just out of words. Thank you so much. It's 15,004 now. Okay, going back to the questions again. Just feeling so overwhelmed. Let me just. By the way, that thing that you just heard was actually from my wife. Like, she's awake upstairs looking at the subscriber count. She's also pretty excited. We are thankful to you. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, going back to the questions. Sangeet is asking that. Let me see. Okay. Now Sangeet is asking that I'm not able to solve problems even after I have practiced quite a bit. I think I just explained. Yeah, basically practice is the only way to move forward. Okay. Yeah, now I would answer like these 4 questions, but I'll go to sleep afterwards. I'm just like, it's almost 2 a.m. But I promise I'll do like 2-3 more um live streams this weekend. So if you have more questions, feel free to ask. Okay, Black Sound is asking that, sir, I have upcoming Amazon on Amazon on site. What are the DSA topics to focus on, and how to build intuition? Is watching video solution and practicing is good method? Yeah, of course, watching video solution and practicing is a good method, but what you really want to do is try to first go on lead code and see all the questions tagged at Amazon. That would be really helpful, and try to see like more recent questions, so you would be able to understand that what are all the questions that you are currently talking about. And apart from that, I would suggest, like, yeah, once again, do mock interviews. That would be helpful. Okay, Yashvardhan is asking that, by my maths is very strong, but I cannot solve DSA problems at all. Algorithms approaches, but I'm not able to code it well. Can you suggest any way I can get better? I think it's just common with the theme that we have been talking about. You just need to practice more. So yeah, I hope you continue your practice and eventually you would become better at it. By the way, Mr. Madan, thank you so much for being like the 15k sub. Once again, thanks. Devansh just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much. And YouTube Sai, yeah, thank you so much. Okay, thanks everyone. This ends all of my questions. I would end the stream now, but till then, take care.